So we get to talk about the iPhone 12 Pro yet again. One of my most sought after phones of all time, basically. Me and this one have a very interesting history. But the one thing I will definitely tell you is, this phone is still worth buying, it's still worth using, it's still worth messing with in the middle part of 2023. Some things have changed with this phone throughout this year. We've got the next iOS version. Very interesting thing that within iOS 17 that I do want to hit on later on in this video as well. But regardless, starting off with the outside, this phone does still have that 6.1 inch Super Retina XDR OLED display. And much like I said last year, the years before, still a very good looking display, not much to hate on here. You are getting that notch up top, standard display, standard bezel, it's not really anything to complain about here. You're getting that lightning port, which is still nice. No headphone jack or anything, we all know this by now. I don't even know why I have to keep mentioning that. Flat sides, which still look very good. And on the back, you are getting that frosted glass back on this phone, which looks beautiful. Having that type of frosted glass back is amazing, and I still love that so much. You're getting that triple camera setup with that LiDAR sensor too. And again, wireless charging, the MagSafe capability, the whole 9 yards you're basically getting on this phone. And at the end of the day, I still feel like this is a very solid, device. I still think it looks beautiful, and it definitely gets a thumbs up for me for sure, just from that perspective alone. Now, on top of that, this phone, like I mentioned, that camera, very decent camera still. Triple camera setup, wide telephoto ultra-wide camera with a wide angle lens at the front, 4K at 60 on the front and the back as well. And the thing with this type of camera for the most part is that when we're talking about something like the iPhone 12 Pro, this is the type of camera that, is probably going to be it's going to be giving you a really solid lens. But I did notice that with the iPhone 13 Pro and 14 Pro, those ones do have significantly better cameras overall than the iPhone 12 Pro. So just keep that in mind. I do feel like the difference between a 12 Pro and a 13 Pro is actually quite high in terms of the camera. But I will still say that with the 12 Pro, you're still getting a very solid camera. It still looks very good. And there's not really like a crazy amount to kind of hate on here either. So I would say from the camera perspective, definitely gets a thumbs up from me. Now from the software side, this was another interesting thing going on with this type of device. I think with something like the iPhone 12 Pro, the problem with the 12 Pro is that this type of device, it's getting iOS 17, I already installed the beta on it, but the problem that I've been having is that with this type of device, I'm already seeing some of the cutoffs kind of happen with the iPhone 12 Pro. So I'm noticing that the 12 Pro right now, it's required the iPhone 12 or newer for some features. I don't know if next year that's going to move up to the iPhone 13. What would happen if the iPhone 13 is the cutoff next year for a lot of those iOS 18 features? So that's something we're going to have to kind of keep our eye on. I hope that's not the case. I feel like the 12 Pro is still very powerful, even though I am not the biggest fan of this phone. So it'd be sad to see this phone kind of go from that perspective. But again, it's just one of those things we're going to have to see. But iOS 17 has been pretty solid. And even the performance on iOS 17 has been pretty good as well. I mean, this thing has that Apple A14 Bionic chip inside of it with 6 gigabytes of RAM. And as I mentioned a lot last year too, this is still a very good performing phone. The battery life and the battery health was the biggest thing that kind of threw me off with this type of device. But I still feel like this is a very good phone that still has a lot of good amount of power, and really no matter what you're going to do with this type of phone, you're going to be getting a very solid performing chipset from this thing still. So there's really not a lot to complain about with this device there either. So to kind of sum up this video, what I'll definitely tell you is, I definitely do think the iPhone 12 Pro is a very solid phone. I still think it has a lot of capability. If you can get one with a decent amount of battery health, then I would recommend going for it. But I still think it's a good phone, and I still think it's holding up quite well in this day and age. So that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.